Drive to Survive Season 5, Episode 7, The Hot Seat. In this encounter, we are talking all things Sergio Perez. Why? Because even though Red Bull are having a great season, there's only one problem. We turn our attention to the Constructors' Championship. The way Netflix has to describe and sort of put together how important the Constructors is. It's not just about the Drivers' Championship. And Sergio Perez has not been doing the best job, let's say, in that Red Bull. And many drivers in the past have struggled in that Red Bull. You had Alex Albon, you had Daniel Kvyat, Pierre Gasly as well. But yes, we get to Monaco Grand Prix and it kicked things off, to be fair. Christian Horner, as I said, loves the camera, loves talking to Netflix, loves having a piece to camera for all by himself. He absolutely loves every ounce of it. And when we're talking Red Bull, especially as they're on a high, I don't blame him. Now, Red Bull have a history of dropping drivers. Netflix makes that direction of letting you know, look, Sergio Perez is in deep, deep trouble here because if he's not performing, he could easily be dropped. Even though Red Bull are doing well this season and they seem to be on course for the Constructors' Championship, the problem is they think the weak link is Sergio Perez, and Horner's not necessarily happy with him. He's thinking, you know what, if this continues, we might have to have another conversation and think about bringing somebody else in. Max Verstappen, on the other hand, is laughing because he's seen drivers come and go. He's been there throughout the whole time. And in fact, he's been one of those people that have joined the team because somebody's been dropped. So, yeah, he understands what it's all about. He knows that if you perform well, you stay in the car. If you don't perform well, adios. And this isn't the first time that Sergio Perez has been facing the back door of Formula One. Remember, when he was in the Racing Point, they did not extend his contract because they brought in Sebastian Vettel, and then they changed the team to Aston Martin. But Sergio Perez, who won a race that year towards the end of the season, wasn't having a drive in 2021. And then when he won the Sakir Grand Prix, Horner gets on the phone and says, hey, welcome to Red Bull. We could be in another situation here. Sergio Perez, again, looking at another lease of life where, you know, he could be losing his seat in Formula One. And they're showing things like with his family, they're showing his kids. And it's like, it's getting really emotional. You really want to warm to Sergio Perez and really feel for him in this episode. But we get to the Monaco Grand Prix. It's Ferrari versus Red Bull. The two Ferraris are on the front row of the grid. And on the second row of the grid is Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Nip and tuck race. It was very, very close. Ferrari, however, in Ferrari fashion, flopping their own base as per usual, messing around with the strategy. And Sergio Perez capitalized on that. And he wins the Monaco Grand Prix. And everybody is delighted. Everyone is happy about what took place for Sergio Perez and for Red Bull. He won in Monaco, one of the most important tracks in the Formula One Canada, one of the most hardest tracks to win in, especially if you do not start on the front row of the grid. But you see Netflix doing it again. It starts off bad and it ends well in the episode. You go through a roller coaster of emotions per episode that I've been noticing so far. And then after that, to end on a high, he signs a new deal with Red Bull. So all that drama about Sergio Perez's seat had long gone afterwards. And then he signs a new deal. So he's extended his contract with Red Bull until 2024. And Horner said this, you know, let's take the pressure away from Checo. The last thing he needs is to have this pressure surrounding him. And he's thinking about the constructors here, Christian Horner. He's thinking, look, if I could just give him the contract, we get it out of the way, then it's all head down, focusing on the Constructors' Championship, which they go ahead and do. So as per usual, we start off in rocky ground with Sergio Perez. We end on a high and on to episode 8.